5 Feet Apart is a novel written by Rachel Lippincott in collaboration with Mickey Daughtry and Tobias Yakunis. Rachel Lippincott is a 27-year-old writer born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She initially attended the University of Pittsburgh to study medicine, but then changed and graduated from the same university with a degree in English writing. When she is not writing, she spends her days running a food truck with her wife in Pennsylvania. 5 Feet Apart was inspired by Claire Winland, a young girl that suffered from cystic fibrosis. The book tells the love story between Stella and Will, who met, like each other, and fall in love. What makes the difference is that the two meet in the hospital, because they both suffer from cystic fibrosis. Because of the infection that could be transmitted, the two have to remain at a safe distance. He is a rebel whose prognosis is grim. He seems to have surrendered to his fate, doesn't want to take medication, and waits until he turns 18 to take his life back. He wants to visit all those cities he has been to, but where he only saw hospitals. She deals with her illness in a strict and determined manner, takes all her drugs and follows the doctor's orders. Will has contracted big aphasia, while Stella is on the lung transplant list. More than ever, the two should be at least 6 feet apart. But that distance with time seems to be more of a punishment. That is precisely why Stella decides she wants to steal something from the disease. After all that the disease has taken from her. 1 feet, one step closer to Will. Would 1 foot away really be so dangerous if it prevented the hearts from breaking? There are few differences between the book and the film, as they were made at the same time. Nevertheless, there are some key discrepancies in the two versions, the biggest of which is the ending. The film ends with Will realizing that his cure is not working, which is why he decides to leave, saying goodbye to Stella in a romantic yet devastating way. The last scene shows Stella intent on making a video where she incites her followers to hug the people they love, something that she could not do with Will. The end of the book, on the other hand, shows a much sadder scenario. Will is told he only has a year to live. Stella films the same video, but the two of them see each other again at the airport after 8 months. 6 feet apart, then 1 feet closer. Another difference is that in the film, the relationship between Stella's parents is not emphasized. In the book, it is explained that after the death of Abby, Stella's sister, her parents separate and can no longer find peace, and Stella has to survive to keep the family together. It is only after the outburst of Barb, Stella's physiotherapist, that the two begin to get closer again. Another aspect that is not emphasized in the film is the family situation of Poe, Stella's best friend, as he lives alone in America, far away from his family. The themes are various, but we can identify 4 specifically: the concept of life and death, illness, rebellion, and first love. Stella and Will are young people who have had to grow up too fast, finding themselves every day pondering issues bigger than themselves. Life and death. The concept of life and death is represented by the protagonists always in the balanced lives. The two of them dream of living a normal life, but live with a deadly disease that makes them survive and risk dying every day. The disease they suffer from is cystic fibrosis, the most serious genetic disease in Italy, for which there is still no cure. Rebellion at first is represented by Will, who doesn't want to take medication, but later it is Stella who wants to rebel against the rules, believing that living life is better than prolonging it as much as possible inside a hospital. The unconditional love the two feel for each other makes them overcome all obstacles, and it is so strong that when Will realizes it represents certain death for Stella, he decides to leave her. Moreover, the love she feels for her sister, best friend, and parents is a sincere feeling, which proves that love in all its form is an essential part of human beings' life. 5 Feet Apart is a light book, but one that succeeds in bringing an audience of all ages closer to a subject that is so difficult for our society to deal with: illness. And it does so by recounting feelings that we all feel or have felt and highlighting a desire for normality that seemed impossible to achieve. Even if told in a hasty and perhaps improbable way, 5 Feet Apart is the tale of a deep love, the kind that everyone would like to experience, in which one will do anything to make the other feel good. I chose this work because of the impact and sensitivity with which it brings the hearer closer to the illness, allowing him or her to understand the problems, the relationship created within the hospital, the way the family deals with the illness, and the nurse's point of view. The book moved me a lot because I am not new to the disease, but unfortunately I know it very well. Also, in my own small way, I would like to raise awareness among people who have never heard of cystic fibrosis, despite the fact that it is the most common autosomal recessive disease among people of Caucasian ethnicity. Unlike the other works where the theme of the disease was put in the background to give space to the love story, this one is just a pretext to the story of the disease and the context of those who struggle with CF every day. It is a raw work showing how people live with the disease, showing all the medicine that patients are forced to throw down to stay alive, showing their suffering but also their will to make it through. I personally love the moral that marries the film, a tribute to life and to living life as it were the last day. It shows the importance of having human contact with the people we love. A gesture that seems so ordinary but which should make us reflect on how lucky we are to be able to enjoy every caress, hug, touch of our loved one. It also incites people to have no regrets and to take risks. This book teaches that there are many young people who take their own lives, while those with some life-threatening illnesses will do anything to live a few more days. I highly recommend everyone to read the book or see the movie, because there are two versions that complement each other. The book is a more detailed, but both are a roller coaster of emotions. The narration is fast-paced, but being written in first person, the book completely captivates the reader, drawing him or her into the story.